Nutrition One. The idea of Nutrition One is to simply understand more about nutrition, the simple basics, how things work. Okay? These here are macronutrients. Macronutrients are protein, carbohydrates, and fat. The idea is to have a combination of these things. If you have a combination of protein, carbohydrates, and fat, what happens is you balance blood sugar levels. Well, why is balancing blood sugar levels important? Well, the idea for balancing blood sugar levels is that our body doesn't store fat and our body doesn't use muscle as energy. Okay, we want to be balanced throughout the day so that we feel good, that we're not irritable, we have the energy to work and to function and to live and to be happy. Okay, so that's the idea, but how do we do that? And what do these things do? What does a carbohydrate do? A carbohydrate gives you energy and also raises our blood sugar levels, okay? Protein is the most important. It's the building block for lean muscle. It helps resist infection, helps control hormones. Pretty important, right? Okay, and in addition, it's a stabilizer for blood sugar. Aha, we said before, 1 is gonna raise our blood sugar levels, 2 is gonna stabilize them. Remember, that's important because we want to store fat. Okay? If we drop too low in our insulin, there's problems. We're going to store fat, and then what happens if we exercise? Cortisol could fire in our body and metabolize muscle. Well, every pound of muscle we have, we burn more fat. So inherently, okay, if we're not keeping our blood sugar levels consistent, guess what's going to happen? You're going to burn. Metabolism's going to slow down. Who wants your metabolism to slow down? I know I don't. Okay? And I know that you don't, and I know that you're trying to learn this stuff, and that's the idea. Carbohydrates going to raise the blood sugar levels. Protein's going to help stabilize the blood sugar levels. That's the first reason why we eat a protein and carbohydrates and the fat together. The second is something called gastric emptying time. Okay, that's the amount of time that things get processed in the stomach through the gastric juices in our stomach, okay? Well, gastric emptying time of carbohydrates is 20 to 40 minutes. So that's not much, because you ever notice if you eat an apple, okay, you go ahead and eat that apple, then all of a sudden you're like, wait, I'm hungry again. I need to eat again. But I was just full by eating the apple, because it only has a gastric emptying time. Your body processes through it in 20 to 40 minutes. But protein has a gastric emptying time of 2 hours. It takes your body longer to break it up. Fat is going to be 4 hours. Now, if you put these three together, once again, it's going to balance your blood sugar levels. The times are going to mix. 20 to 40 minutes, 2 hours, 4 hours, going to give you about 3 to 4 hours. On our insulin graph, you can see that 3 to 4 hours, after 4 hours, your blood sugar level starts to drop. You experience something called hunger. Aha, very scientific. Tells your body to eat again. If you eat a protein, a carbohydrate, and fat, then you're balancing your blood sugar levels once again. But that's the important part. It's important part to understand that there's 2 reasons how to balance your blood sugar levels. 1 is for the combination of protein and carbohydrates together. 2 is through gastric emptying time. Now, the interesting part of gastric emptying time, I'm gonna kind of show you something. We're gonna pretend that this blender is our stomach. Okay? And we're gonna take these things and blend up these things. So we've got pasta and peas, and we know that carbohydrates consist of pasta, wheats, grains, breads, potatoes, fruits, vegetables, and on and on and on and on. And proteins are chickens, fishes, porks, the tofus of the world, nuts. You understand? It's pretty much all your meat category. And then you got your fats. You've got your animal fat. You've got your tropical oils. You got your olive oils. You know, all different kinds of fats. Now, our stomach. We're gonna blend this sucker up just like your stomach does with it here. Okay, so we're gonna lift off the top. We're gonna throw our carbohydrate down our throat, so to speak. Okay. And we're gonna put it in the blender, boom, okay? We're gonna then take our chicken, and there's some bacon in there, chicken and pork, we're gonna put them in our blender, boom, 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 boom. Okay, we've got our butter and our oil as our fat, we're gonna throw our fats in there. Now the gastric emptying time of fat, 4 hours, like we said. Protein, 2, 20 to 40 minutes, gonna balance us for 3 to 4. But what's gonna happen? 2 sphincter muscles got the stomach and they shake it up to and that's what the gastric juices. We're gonna shake this thing up. It might need some water. I'm gonna go like this. Bear with me for a second. I'm gonna grab some soda. Ooh, yuck, look at this. But that's what people do. They top that soda on there, right? They're gonna drink things down. This is not an unusual meal. So we're gonna put this sucker here. We're gonna power through this. You won't be able to hear me. Boom, it's gonna blend up, okay? Blending, okay? Okay, just like you would see it, okay? Twist this sucker off there. Look at that, look at that. I want you to pick out, go ahead, pick out the peas. Pick out the pasta. You can't really pick it out, can you? Okay, that's the idea, is you can't really see any more peas. You can't really see anything because they're mixed together, and that's what your stomach does. It blends it together, so it adds all the gastric emptying time of all of the 3 things, okay? So that's the idea. Now, what happens with our body is that this is actually a pound of fat. This is what a pound of fat looks like. So if it's here, because on your stomach, it would be like this, okay? A pound of fat. Now, how many calories does it take to actually gain a pound of fat? 3,500 calories to gain a pound of fat. Now, and some people ask, well, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, well, I see them in the store, and 1 gram of fat yields 9 calories. Now, the question is, how much does 1 gram of protein and how much does 1 gram of carbohydrate yield? Only 4. So fat yields 2.5 times more calories calorically. Isn't that interesting? In here, what happens in the long run, this gets dissolved when you burn 3,500 calories. So the vacuole gets dissolved and the triglyceride fuel in here gets released into the body, okay? And that's used as energy. So that's the idea. Now, some other people ask about alcohol and caffeine and things like this. The problem is that people don't talk about alcohol as it has an effect on the metabolic process in our body. It literally affects metabolic process from anywhere from 48 to 72 hours. Alcohol is inherently a poison. So that's why, if you drink too much alcohol, you get dehydrated, you may vomit, you may do things like that. So you got to be careful because of the metabolic process that it has and how it can slow your metabolism down between 48 to 72 hours. Am I saying not to drink? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying we have to do everything within balance. Okay, and be aware of what we're doing. Caffeine can have an extreme effect on adrenals, okay, because it produces adrenaline. That energy has to come from somewhere. Now, sooner or later, your adrenals can burn out, and then you've got big problems. So this is pretty much, a taste of Nutrition One. So from this, you should understand why you're eating a protein, a carbohydrate, a fat, what it does in your stomach. You should be able to see what a pound of fat is and what if you eat 3,500 excess calories, you're going to gain 1 of these. And I don't think it doesn't look too good to gain 1 of those, huh? So think about things. Don't go on any low carb diet or any of that stuff. You'll learn that more in Nutrition 2. But don't do any of that. Eat a protein and carbohydrate together. Keep your blood sugar levels balanced. If you're keeping your blood sugar levels balanced, you're going to be in good shape. Eat small, frequent meals, and that's how you keep your blood sugar levels balanced throughout the day. And don't eat too much food. If you eat too much food, guess what happens? You're going to store that fat. There's the thing saying that if you have a burger, French fries, and a large Coke, that can be 1,710 calories. And if you only burn 400 calories based upon, the blood sugar levels graph to fuel you every 4 hours, that means what? You're going to store the rest as fat. So you're going to store 1,310 calories as fat. We don't want to do that. We don't want to store fat. We just want to feed our body enough to get us to the next 4 hours, and after 4 hours eat. So we want to eat every 3 to 4 hours, protein and a carbohydrate together. If we do so, we're going to balance our blood sugar levels, and you're going to get thin. That's the idea, and you're going to feel happy and be in a good shape. Nutrition One, thank you.